Hello, everybody. Come on in. Oh, I can turn this all the way down. Hello, how are you? I might try and mute that. Hey, Karen, how you going? There we go. I think that's better. It's not. Oh, well, you're gonna have to persevere with me. Yeah, I'm doing well. I might quickly show you this other camera so I can turn it off. But this is camera 2. Okay, that's a bit annoying, but now I'm going to turn off camera 2. Actually, I can just boot them. Studio. There we go. So what I want to show you today is effectively all the equipment that I use, where to get them, where I got them from, I guess, and how I make it all work at my end, because I want you guys to be confident enough to do it all yourself and take the next step. So, you interested in that? Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here, Star. Let's firstly talk about the equipment that I use, and then I'll go through the systems that I use, and then I'll probably, you can ask your questions at any time during it, but also after it as well, and we'll make sure that we cover everything for you. So if you've got any questions at all, we'll answer it all. Okay. It is time to start your business. It's time to step into who you truly are, Star, because people need you. And that's exactly the same for you, Karen. Okay. So, firstly, let's talk about the lights that I use at the back. Okay. So, these lights are called RGB, which stands for red, green, blue. And the best thing about these lights is you can control it by your phone as to what different colors that you want. So in this case, I've gone for pink and blue, but you can just do any contrasting colors. Just make sure they are contrasting. And to find out contrasting colors, just Google contrasting colors, and it'll show you. Hey, Cal, it'll show you a color wheel, and then you just do on each side of the color wheel that best suit your aesthetic, I guess. One thing that I want you to realize is just because you pick something first doesn't mean you're always going to run with it. I didn't start with pink and blue. Mine was yellow and something, yellow and purple, maybe, or orange and purple, or something. And it looked good. It's just sometimes you just need to change it up after a while. So I'll be changing these again and so on and so forth. But what I might do now is show you where I got them from. And I'll move through everything. Okay. So just give me 1 second. Whilst I do this, I'm not going to be able to read the comments because I'm not going to see. I don't have two screens. It would be a good idea to have two screens, but I don't have it. So give me 1 second and I'll show you. So we do this. Now this first one is the RGB lights, right? So this is just from Amazon. I can post links wherever. I can post them all in Activation Station, or I can post them in the chat if you want, whatever you like. But yeah, this is it. So these are the exact ones. They're really cheap. So less than $100 Australian. So you can work that out in your currency. You better be bugger all. And like I said, you can set them up wherever you want around you. And it's a nice little backdrop, you know, so you can make it to be your own colors. So you can see on the left here, you can control it with your, not only the different colors, but the brightness of the colors. And that's really important to me as well, because different software, you know, cameras and things capture light differently. So yeah, that's effectively what I use, these RGB lights. So they're called Gove, G-O-V-E-E. There you go, Gove RGBIC TV light bar. Cheap as hell. That's on Amazon. Okay. So next thing that we will be, what I use is this, something very similar to this. These are stage lights, basically, right? So what they come in a 2-pack, and I had two. I had one for each side. You want to try and put the light on each angle effectively, or if you've only got one is close enough behind you, you just so you can experiment with it, just to create the right shadowing. Ideally, if you've got enough space between you and the lights at the back, you want to have that second light behind you and to the right, or behind you and to the left. And what that does is it creates a nice you know, separation basically between you and the background. So you can see it here. This is $50 Australian, so super cheap. So the thing about, and all these, what's that? Sorry, I don't know how I got there. All these things, they're just different colored for the lights. I threw all mine out. You don't need them. What you do need is something that's going to soften the lights, because they, even at the best thing about these are the dimmable. You can dim them. That's really, really important. And you can put them up as high as you want. So, but even at the dimmer setting, they still can be quite harsh depending on how far you have them away from your face. So an easy way to do it is to just put a tissue over the top of the light, over that part, and that'll just create a nice soft balance. I'll just come back to StreamYard for a second, because I just want to see if anyone's got, let's see if anyone's got any questions about that. No, it looks like they don't. Well, that's good. So before I move on, do you have any questions about either of those things so far? Once again, I'll be posting links to everything that I'm about to show you and currently showing you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. But does everything seem clear so far? Like, I really want to show you that you can get a quality image and video from getting cheap stuff. I did not buy the expensive stuff. I couldn't afford the expensive stuff, and I didn't need it. So I don't need a $5,000 camera. I don't need the $1,000 studio lighting kit and soft boxes and all that sort of stuff. Don't need any of that. So this is all like really super cheap, yet works so well. Like it does. I don't feel separated from professionals by doing it. So, um, yeah. With the colored lights, uh, if I don't have a wall directly behind me, will they still light a room similar to yours? Yeah. So, yes, that's a great question. Uh, it can. It just depends how bright you put them. So they can go pretty bright. Um, so it really depends where what your backdrop is. So you don't want what you don't want, Karen, is for the people who are viewing to actually see the lights. So see the lights themselves. You want it to be behind anything, like backdropping something. So um, if it's not a wall, it can be a plant or it can be something like that, whatever you have there. But um, you're obviously going to have something behind you, even if it's not a wall, because that would be um, something, a nice subject to have in the back. Like you've seen plenty of videos showing the same thing, I imagine. So um, yeah, that's basically it. My room in here is super small. I wish it was bigger and I could have more separation and make it look like there's more depth, which affect. But you can only work with what you have, So, like just to my left here, like I could probably create enough separation there, but right there, I've got a massage table, and it's big. It's the heaviest thing I own, and I can't move it because it's an electric one. Um, so yeah, I think the main what you want to do if you have these lights, Karen and Star and Kel and Sarah, is you want to create a dark room. The darker that you can make your room, the more those lights will pop without having to turn them up too much. So I hope that answers your question. Do you have any more questions before I move on? If you see my earlier videos, it has got a whole, I can show you. It actually had, you can't really see it because there's no light. Had that, but lit up in different ways with the lights behind that. And I would sit in front of that with enough separation, and it'd look really good. The way that it would light up that selenite, the big selenite, yeah, it looked really good. And there might be a time where I try that again, but with a wingback chair like I've got, and I needed because I do so much sitting for my healings. I found that unless I put it off here, which you're not going to see in portrait mode on TikTok, it's just wasted space, really. All right. So unless you've got more questions, I might move on, because bear in mind when I change screens, I can't see the questions. So that's why I just keep popping back. Anyway, so next will be the microphone. One second. Okay. So this is the exact microphone that I use, right? 148 Australian dollars. You can probably get it cheaper elsewhere, but it's just what I found. I think I got mine for 110 or something. So once again, that's Australian dollars. So super cheap. You can see my mic. It's quality because it's Rode, but it's the cheapest of it. It's a USB mic, which is so important. And I'll tell you why you need a USB mic over a condenser mic. So a condenser mic has to plug in to basically a mixer or a receiver that then plugs into your computer or your phone. Whereas this literally has USB-C to either USB-A if you want, depending on if you put it in your PC, or to USB-C if you want to put it in your phone. So literally, I put it directly into my phone when I'm doing TikTok, and my my phone picks it up straight away. It works perfectly fine and sounds crisp and clear. Now, yes, it might benefit from a pop filter. If you don't know what, excuse me, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a net that sits over it, where if you say things with P's, like you don't hear the all the time, and lots of breathing. So it's called a pop filter. Might benefit from it, but once again, don't need it. Don't use it. Yes, it picks up everything. So if you, like, as you can hear, you could probably hear Willow upstairs screaming like a banshee. So yeah, that's upstairs. That's like 20 meters away, really. It's because this is a big house. So you can hear all that. So it picks up, it's very sensitive to that sort of stuff. But I find that it's clear and crisp and sounds professional. So I might just jump back and we'll talk more about that. 1 second. Yeah. So does anybody have questions about the mic? Once again, I'll post the links. But it is a Rode NT USB mic. I'm sure that there are others that you can get which could be, just as good or better, but this is what has worked for me. In a cheap, with a microphone, I really wanted, firstly, a cheap one, but one that's going to sound quality. So yeah, I went with that. You can't go wrong with Rode equipment, RODE. It's just the price point generally is a bit higher, but this is an entry-level mic that works perfect. It works perfect for me. I think it looks good. I think it's, somewhat eye-catching. It doesn't look like your standard mic, but yeah, it certainly does the job. It's got a really long USB cord, which is so important because I use a boom arm, and I'll get to that soon. But yeah, any questions about the mic? And how does the quality sound to you when you think about my lives and now, compared to, for the people who knew me at the beginning when I wasn't using a mic, compared to how that sounded, While I'm waiting for you to comment, how one thing that's important to note when you have a mic plugged in. Yeah, that's what I thought. But Karen, one thing's to note: when you have a mic plugged into your phone, you actually can't hear anything else. Sorry about Willow, unless you have a earbuds in. Oh, good, Sherry. Unless you have earbuds in, or you have any sort of headset, and that will Bluetooth, so you can hear other people, which looks good. Doesn't look great. I don't like having to use earbuds, but I don't have them in now because I don't need to hear anyone. So just think about that when you are trying to use your mic and going live with someone else in TikTok, because you will not be able to hear them unless you have your headphones or microphone in. So what you'll find happens with me when I go live on TikTok and then I go into somebody else's live and I'm with them is I pull the mic straight out. So yeah, it's a decrease in sound quality exponentially, but at least you get to hear the other person, right? So it's the trade-off, I guess. All makes sense so far. So Rode NT USB mic, if you're writing that down, and you don't have to because I'll post it. All right. So the next thing that I have got, what I use right now, which I'm using in this stream, is the face cam, is the webcam. Every Mac and PC these days has got their own webcam. The quality is and will probably always be very, very poor in a Mac and PC device. So it was really important to me that I looked professional because of the systems that I use. If I've got Showcase and I've got Spirit Stream TV and all those sorts of things that I go live on regularly, then it's so important that I look professional. So I didn't go out and buy a $5,000 bloody webcam or a camera system because I just didn't have that in the budget, right? But what I bought was this. So this is a simple little webcam called Elgato Facecam. The good thing about it is it comes with a lot of settings in it, with its own app, basically, not for the phone, but for the computer. And you can mess around with the settings and get the right white balance, get the right exposure, get the right, everything in there. You can really customize it all. In fact, I'll see if I can show you. So hopefully you can see that there, but this is the camera hub, right? So you put different effects in. You can zoom as much as you want. You can set the contrast, saturation, sharpness, the shutter speed of it. You see the white balance there in the processing. So you can literally go, even the format. So you can change this to 1080p. And that changed it. And that automatically changes wherever you're filming. So in regards, if you feel overwhelmed by all this, what you can do is you can Google or YouTube or TikTok Elgato Facecam, which is what I did, camera settings, Facecam settings, and people will show you what's worked best for them, and they'll show you exactly how to do it and change it, and then you can just, after a while, you know how to mess around with it to get it going in a way that works best for you. So that's it. There are newer versions of this. This is an old product now, but works fine. Like you can see, it works fine for me. So, and $149 Australian. I think I might have got it for a bit less than that back in the day, but that was perfect for me for a face cam. If you are only planning on, I'll come back. If you're only planning on going live on TikTok and that's it, you're not doing anything else, then you're not going to need that face cam. But I can guarantee that if you start going live on TikTok and you start living the dream, basically doing all those things, how when you're excited, when you're in that excited vibration, I tell you that, doors open up in different ways to further your career and further more things that you're excited with. Well, that's one of them. So you might be asked to be a co-host on a show, to do an event, and or even just to do private videos that you might not necessarily want to do on your phone. And that's where you're going to need a quality camera. Having said all that, many of you have already done one-on-one sessions with Charlotte, or have been in her I'm not talking about her TikTok lives, but her events that she does. So she uses the MacBook. We've got the same MacBook, MacBook Air which is a cheap one. The same camera from that. That's what she does. Her room gets a lot of light in it, irrespective of what she does. So you can get the most quality out of it that way, and it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. So it's something to consider anyway. It wouldn't be the first thing I'd buy, but it's definitely something to get. There you go. You probably have the same one as me. That's literally what I'm using right now. It's what I use on all my events. But yeah, I enjoy the MacBook. I enjoy the ease of it. I enjoy the processing power, that's for sure. Haven't had a problem with it yet. Touch wood. Yeah. So does anybody have any questions about the face cam, the webcam? I did a lot of research into it. There really needed to be a fine line between professionalism and the cost. Yeah. I'll need a good camera. The one on my laptop isn't the greatest. Yeah, traditionally they're not. Yeah, this one seems perfect, and there are newer versions of this one, but this one just works fine, you know. Yeah, and it gives you just some good effects. Like this effect around me looks awesome, and I can turn that off somehow. I guess I can't do that now. Anyway, there's one thing that I haven't searched for yet, and that's the boom arm. All these essentials that you need that I never even thought about. Thank you so much for doing this for us. You're welcome. No, I don't use an iPhone, Jerry. I use a Samsung S22 Ultra. I was actually going to purchase a new phone last week, even though I really don't have the money to do that. I was going to do it because my phone stopped charging. It wasn't charging very well for the longest time. I was getting so frustrated, and when it stops charging, it's a charging port, which means it was difficult to plug the mic into, and it's causing me all sorts of dramas, right? Anyway, I walked into a shop at the shopping center. I said, "Can you see if there's anything in my charging port?" And she's like, "Yeah, it costs you $35 and I can do a deep clean." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." 10 minutes later, come back and it worked perfectly. So I now have a perfect working phone again. So I am so stoked with that. So stoked. So I don't have to go and outlay all that money. Anyway, yeah, it's good. It's good. And Charlotte's got the same phone. She uses the same phone as me. So she got one because I talked it up, obviously. Just let me try and search for the boom arm. In fact, I'll show you as I'm searching. 1 second. What's it called? Yeah. So boom arms are really cheap. And you can see that this one, I'll go into it. This one's got a pop filter, which you can take off, hopefully. Let me zoom in and see. Yeah, so you can take that off. What you'd want to do is you want to make sure that this part here can screw off, because mine screws off, and then it looks like it does, and then you just screw it straight onto the microphone. So that's 29 Australian dollars. right? So bugger all for a boom arm. Once again, I'll post a link to that if you want, but you can search for boom arms anyway. Mine is called Stadium. Let's remove that. I think a boom arm is really, really important. So, because microphones are directional, if you are sitting with, remember I showed you that microphone before, and it comes sitting on a base. This is the base, right? So if I sit it here, and that's going to come up this high. So if I sit it down here, I really would need a desk to be like right in front of me to be able to have that quality audio going into it. Yeah. So really, like, that's okay. That's okay. It's just, it's not going to sound as crisp and clear if it's not right in front of you. And if it's right in front of you on this, then you're just going to see this microphone right here, and you're trying to talk over it and then adjusting it. It's just too much buggering around. So it's just best to have a boom arm. Once again, they're so cheap, but they're so beneficial. You can adjust it to do whatever you want. You know, it's beautiful. You can swing it out. You can pull it all the way back. And you can just test it in different ways to make it sound best for you without it being in the way. So you can still be open and they can hear you directionally. But as you can see, if I talk like this, then you can hear it pretty well because it's picking it up. If I talk like this, you can obviously hear it pick it up a bit better. If I talk like this, you can't hear it as well. So bear in mind that if you just got that little thing, and it's okay to just have that little thing, but I mean, Charlotte does. She doesn't have a boom arm, but she's got the same mic. It's okay to just have that little thing, but what Charlotte has had to do is prop it up on boxes to get it to the height that she needs it, so it sounds okay. And if you start seeing boxes like on top of each other, which is, hers are like Oracle cards after Oracle card decks, and she puts it on top of that and you see that, then it starts to look unprofessional then. So yeah, that's what I really wanted to achieve. I really wanted to have it to be professional. Okay. But yeah, that's cool that you have the same boom arm. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's holding a microphone. Microphones are light. Yeah, so just any boom arm that you can pick up will do, I reckon. As long as it's got the right connector to the bottom of this, to that, I should say. But having said that, if it doesn't have the right connector, this USB mic actually comes with a I don't know where it is because I don't need it, but it comes with a thing that allows a different connector. So you should be fine either way. It's like roads covered all bases. All right, so is that all clear so far? The next thing that I want to talk about is good. So does anyone, would you get value of me showing you Canva? Or are you all over Canva? So it'll be Canva plus how I incorporate it into my TikToks. Okay. So so Canva is I use for all my artwork that happens not just in TikTok, but in Showcase, in Spirit Stream TV, all that sort of stuff, right? So Canva, I use Canva Pro. I'm sure there's other things that you can use that are probably cheaper or free, but because I use Canva so much, it's really important to me that I can use something that is really easy. Like I find a lot of joy in being creative in Canva. Yeah, I shudder to think how you would go about doing it prior to having Canva. You'd have to enlist graphic designers, and it cost you a lot of money. So anyway, I'll show you Canva now and how it works for me. Hang on. Sorry, I stopped sharing the screen for some reason. Okay, here we go. So this is Canva. I am really hopeless with my tabs and organization in Canva, but this is effectively what I've created. So I'll talk about this one first. Hopefully you can all see it there. Excuse me. So, all right. So what I have achieved here, and I'll zoom in on it. So I've put my energy healing stuff here and all the prices there, how to do it, and obviously little pictures. But you can see how I've got separation from the top. That's because of TikTok's all the junk that they put at the top of the screen. So I was trying to give enough room to so you can see everything. This is literally just a background that you can go and get from Canva. It could be any background you want. It's all in there. So if you wanted to change it to this, you could, or this, or like a million other ones. You can do all that. I just thought this looked good for what I wanted to achieve. And once again, it'll change. It changes all the time. So you can see that it used to be that. It also used to be that. And that, and that. Everyone remembers that, right? So I did that so I could show people that. Plus, this would be just above the comment section, and they still get to see me. That worked good for a while. Different versions of it. Advertising for Activation Station. What's coming up next? Yeah, remember when it was this? So these are all done really easy. This is on a, and I didn't use a lot of them. I experimented with a lot of them. I definitely use this one. And what I did, let's say I use this, what I did was I would download this, but I would make sure it's not a video, it's under PNG because that's the best quality. I would make sure, using the current page only, that I had a transparent background. Yeah. And then I just go and download that. And then when I'm in TikTok, I can literally use that as an overlay, and you can see me and the whole lot behind me. So this worked okay, except you can see it's up the top, and there would have been so much TikTok junk all over it. So it wasn't sustainable for the long term, right? Now, this is under when I created a new design. So if we go here to create a new design, then you can choose whether you want Instagram story dimensions or TikTok story or a Facebook cover photo, right? Anything like that, any sort of dimensions that you want, and it'll show up. And then you go into the design part, which is the first one, and it gives you different things that you can like use for inspiration. Yeah, if you wanted to do events, and then you can just use it and copy that over and then just change things around to be how you want it to be. That one looks pretty good. Yeah, you can see this one is that one. So see how it looks almost identical. I've just changed stuff up. I'm not doing anything crazy here. This is just using their stuff. So anyway, that's how I use Canva. Now, in relation to StreamYard, where are we? You recognize this backdrop, right? So this is where I do all my StreamYard stuff as well. It's all in Canva, all the overlays, everything. So remember when I did that one for a while? Did a few versions of that. That looks pretty silly, but I think I used that one time. These as well, when I was going live on Facebook. All the upgrade stuff. Yeah, I did all that on Canva. This is really easy to do. That upgrade background, can you see that? That was effectively our logo. That was done with AI. I just wanted something to show an infinity symbol in the sky, and it did that. That was when I got way too over the top with it looks ridiculous. It looks so busy. Anyway, but yeah, so this works for Showcase, but it also works for Spirit Stream TV as well. So I've done all these and just played around with it. It takes a bit of time to do because you want to get the right dimensions and things, but you can just delete them and keep doing it till you get it right. So then what you'll find, if I come back into, I'll move this, sorry. So if I come in here, yeah, TikTok background templates. If I come in here and I show you the things that I've got, let's see if I can move myself down. Yeah. So I can change these overlays to be anything. If you have the free version of StreamYard, it'll come with that. Or all the backgrounds, so you can see all the Showcase stuff. I just did page after page going through all these, and I just change them on the fly. That's how, like, it's obviously a bit of work creating this stuff and knowing how to sort of change them on the fly. And it's not always perfect, but yeah, it certainly works for me. Anyway, I'll go back to what it was. It was that. No, it wasn't. It was that. And then back to you. So Canva Pro costs money, but it'd be the way to go. It's an easy way to be creative. They just make it very easy to navigate and use. Now, I sort of flew through that a little bit. So does anybody have any questions about Canva Pro or Canva in general? And would the question be, how would I incorporate that blue screen that I've got into TikTok? What buttons and things do I press? Hey, Deb. Thanks for coming. Because I'm about to show you that part. Because it's really important. It's important that you know how to do this stuff. You don't have to do it this way. You could literally go live without any sort of banners or anything. But I'll show you the TikTok part anyway. It's not? Okay. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen for a second because I want to show you where to go in TikTok to be able to do it. Ugh. Okay. Is that right? Yeah, Dragon Head. So what happens when you get to TikTok and you go to the go live part? So scroll along to where that is at the bottom there instead of posting, just across to live. And then from there, the first thing you want to do is go into settings. Yeah. So once you're in settings, click on the About Me section. And when you're in the About Me section, that's when you put what I put in my lives, which is, healing $22 PayPal or whatever it is. Yeah. Or just something for people to see whenever they're in the live. That's the first thing that comes up when you go on someone else's live. That's the About Me section. Yeah. There's also a section here to set your moderators. Video quality should always be of the highest, but that's about all that you have to amend there. Then scrolling down in that same section, you get to this content disclosure. Now, I have found recently that it's important to be clicking on this and amending this part. If you do, I'll show you. You have to turn this on, toggle this, and then do your own brand. So, and then press save at the bottom. So once you've done that, they can't boot you for selling yourself, basically, because that's how you go on people's lives and you see up top left hand corner it says promotional content. That's how you do it. All right, so back into it, into that main page, you would click in the middle. So if I just go back to the start here, after you go to the settings, you click in that middle part there next to it where you've got that little icon. It says effects. It'll look like a different icon for everyone, but you just press effects. Yeah. Come on. And then once you've done that, you find this effects. Now, it could be in trending or it might not. You can scroll across here. So it says trending, new, atmosphere, and you keep scrolling, you get to green screen. There's a few settings in there which I use. I can use this one or one underneath, but for This particular one, I use this setting. So the one that looks like that. I don't know what it is. Yeah, but anyway, looks like that. And then it goes up to your camera roll. So you press plus, and you would find that Canva artwork that you created, and then you click on it, and it shows up here. It won't show up there prior, but yeah, you want to make it show up there. And then you just want to click away, and it removes this stuff, and then you'd be ready to go live. Now, that will still show as that screen, effectively your camera being at the top here. But what you can do is you can move that with your fingers down to where you need it to be. And you can see how it's a rectangle there. If you tap it with 2 fingers, it will change to a square. If you tap it again with 2 fingers, it'll change to a circle. All of those things, you can stretch it out by stretching your 2 fingers apart, and it can turn it, it can make it bigger, it can make it smaller, whatever you want to do. So it's really customizable from that point of view. And then it's just a case of going live after that, right? So let me come back. And then we'll remove that. Do you connect the mic and go live on your phone? Yes, I absolutely do. When I'm live on TikTok, as you will only be able to do as well, because there's no TikTok Studio for Mac. It's only for PC. So generally speaking, I go live through TikTok on my phone, and I connect my mic directly to the phone through the port. That's it. Yeah. So I would use this mic stand. Sorry, I didn't talk about mic stand, but you can get mic stands anywhere. This is a huge one, but it goes real small and just sits on my desk. It will sit here in front of me. This will be turned around. So it's just like that, sitting in front of me. And then I just change the plug from what's going into the Mac, just pull it out and put it into the phone, and it's good to go. Just make sure you wipe down your camera so it's clearer. And yeah, Bob's your uncle. Now, the next thing we need to talk about is Linktree that I use. But before I move on, does anybody have any questions about Canva or TikTok? No. Clear as mud. Right. What about you, Karen or Star? No, all understood, and we'll be using it. Great. Yeah, none of you need to do it this way. This is just the way that I do it. All right. So in a second, what we'll do is we'll move on to Linktree. Right. Back in here. Now, this is my link tree. I think it looks pretty professional. So what we've got here, my link tree is the paid link tree. I think it ends up being $120 a year or something. So I think that might be Australian. I'm not sure. But I basically what you could do is you could run your whole business from a link tree and never need a website as long as you got the Linktree Pro or whatever. You could certainly do that. Now, if you scroll down here in my Linktree, you will see the events that are coming up. You'll even see the new showcase event that you're not meant to see yet. But you'll see the showcase events there. And then underneath it, you've got how to book sessions with me, right? So these all come up as the links here. I'm sure that you probably all know how to use Linktree, but I just want to touch base for anyone who doesn't know. So the first one here is TikTok Live one-on-one sessions. So this is obviously where people book to get their, those accelerated healings and the white cloud stuff. So heavy metals. So that's the first one. That's in a collection here. So, and that's through PayPal. So literally what I've done is I've set it up through PayPal and I've copied the link and I've just pasted it in here. Simple as that. And I've turned it on. You can turn it off whenever you want and it can just disappear. Next one is if you don't have PayPal, the link that I have is Square, which is just another avenue. You guys will have Venmo or all those things that we don't actually have in Australia. So yeah, you can put that in there as well. Underneath it, private one-on-one sessions, 50% off using code April50. I believe that might have already ended. If not, it'll be today. I'm not sure whether the timing is US or not, but I'll have to change that probably tomorrow. And then underneath it, I've got the couples therapy, which is I've actually done really cheap people. And then I've got a gratitude jar, so a tip jar, which is just the same PayPal link. That if you've set up a PayPal, you would know what to do. The replay of the previous showcase. Underneath it, I've got my courses here. Underneath it, I've got Activation Station. This is where you Activation Station subscribers would use to do your discounted one-on-one sessions, not while I've got April 50 because it ends up being cheaper, but after that. And this is just a link to showcase, link to my website and the Spirit Stream TV episodes to follow on TikTok and just something to get in touch. Plus up the top, I've got the links to all my socials so people can just grab me that way. So it's pretty elaborate. I've set up the design myself. How did I do that? Under theme. So if you go here to theme, you can just do the classic way, which is what you see a lot of people's link trees are. And it just looks like that, or what they call the hero way, which is part of Pro. And I think it looks a lot better that way. Edit the image, upload your own image. I did that. Backgrounds, the colors that you want, how these individual buttons look, whether they're rounded or whether they're blocked out. I only changed them to rounded last night because I wanted something different. And the different color aesthetics that are in there. The font as well. Hide the Linktree logo. That's pretty cool as well. It's part of the Pro. And then what it looks like if you're just sending your Linktree to somebody else. Now, I'm just going to stop right there and come back to you. All right, so have I missed anything? Graham's in. Yeah, it's the 30th for you, but it's not for me. So I don't know whether it's whether it ends in your time zone or it ends in mine. But either way, if you need to get in today, just let me know. Can do so much on that. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm not sure what you mean, Graham. Once you have the Linktree set up, then you have a link, which mine is just Linktree/Jai Brady Healer, and then that's what you put into TikTok, into your bio. So then they have links to everything all in one section. Really comprehensive. Do you have any questions about that before I delve further into Linktree Pro? So I would definitely set up PayPal first, Graham, and then because you need something to put on your Linktree, and then you can do Linktree after that. You got, so Graham, you and I can use PayPal or Square or whatever. The people overseas, they can also use PayPal and Square, but they use like Venmo and all that sort of stuff as well. Yeah, Linktree. Well, yeah, I've only shown you I found something on it yesterday, which is really cool. I'm about to show you. But yeah, you can fully customize it, make it. Once again, I just really wanted to make it look really professional. I think that I achieved that. So everything is really clear. Yeah. But I'll go back to it right now. So Linktree. So going back to the main page. Oh, you can also see here that there's a shop part as well. So if you've got things that you want to, let's say you do an event and you want to sell that event, that will form in your shop as well. So you can see I've just toggled over to shop, and there's raise your vibration stuff that you get in the level 1 course, or my showcase with Charlotte, or the Upgrade Summit replay is in there. So that's all under shop. Now, sorry, just to put in what happens here, can you see how these are small pills and this is a big advertisement? Yeah. So you can customize that in that way. So let's say we go to this. Where are we? Yeah, so let's say we go to this activation station subscribers thing. So you could go into here to layout, and choose from that classic, which is the pill thing, or change to the featured one, and that will make it bigger. I mean, you'd have to go and put in a photo to do it, and then that will effectively turn into that if you use that photo. So, yeah, so many things that you can do. Plus, what you can see here, see how this one's jumping out at you? I do that myself. That's setting. So it'll catch people's attention. And all you do for that is you just press that star and it prioritizes it. So if we go into that star, you see that you can make it buzz. So if I click on that and see how it's buzzing now. Yeah, or you can make it wobble. Yeah, or pop. I think I had pop. Or swipe, I don't know. Yeah, so that looks pretty shit. But yeah, and you can only do it for one. You can only prioritize one. So yeah, that's what I thought was pretty cool. Anyway, there's just numerous things that you can do there. What I want to do is I show you this earn part. Right. So in this, if you have Linktree Pro, you can create your own course within here. That's really important to know. I didn't know this. I mean, mine was through Wix and I could create my course there, but you can create your course here. And so if you did that, then you wouldn't have to, you wouldn't effectively have to have a website for anything. If you're selling products, you can sell it there, course there. So important. Or physical products. All ways to earn. Anyway, I thought that was really, really cool. Literally create a course. Wild. You know, whereas Kajabi's like $200 a month or something. It's ridiculous. Anyway, what am I doing? Back to StreamYard. Remove you. Yeah. So that's Linktree. Now, what have I not told you about yet? Activation Station. Did you want to know about Patreon? And I don't know if you know, but Patreon itself is free to set up. So it's free to set up. And basically what you do is you use that Canva artwork. I'll show you. Let's go back into this. Ugh. Okay. So we'll go back to home. Yeah, here we go. So here is where you set the cover. So you can be Canva artwork, right? This is all just Canva. This is me experimenting. That is also just Canva. You can have your own face or whatever you want. You change this, you change this. You set whatever link you want it to be. You can put any other links that you might need in there. Now, if I go to collections here, there you go, create custom collections. And it shows you how to do it. But you can see that I've got these here: activate me, heal me, meditate with me, watch me, TikTok live replays, secret group only, you know, watch you in case anyone else wanted to share their stuff, which I thought was a pretty good idea, which nobody has done as yet. But it's an option. And the Spirit Stream TV episodes as they happen. So yeah, this is once again all done on Canva. all really easy to do and reorder. The chats, you can make the different chat groups. Shop is a terrible thing to have, so don't sell anything in Shop, otherwise they don't pay you for 90 days because it has to go through Apple. This is the membership part. So you do the tiers, you set the prices for each of them, what it means. They're all there. Yeah, you set the about. Recommendations you don't necessarily need to do, but it's there anyway. And that's it. You turn on community chats as well. That's it. And then it's all a list of everything as you do it. Just post it up there. So to go live, I would go post, come up here to live stream. This is free, YouTube Live. So you just go live in YouTube and then copy and paste the link over to, mine's a little bit different where I post a StreamYard. I post a YouTube link, but I go live on YouTube through StreamYard. But yeah, the link gets posted in here. So that's what you do. Well, that's what I do anyway. So really simple to create. I'll just jump back here for a second. Yeah, so the way I did it, how it worked for me, I don't know how much more in depth I should go in with this, but I started doing those TikTok lives, building up my following, and I found myself getting heaps of subscribers. Those subscribers were paying, let's say, $11 a month to view my content. With TikTok, of that $11 a month, I would get paid maybe $2 per person. So it wasn't really sustainable. So what I did is I created Patreon. I was looking for different avenues, and I created Patreon, which took me a day to create because I was just in the zone and channeling, and it was beautiful. And then I did, as you guys would know, is I spoke to you individually, and I said, just cancel your membership with TikTok, and then your subscription with TikTok, and then come over to me on Patreon, and I'll do it effectively for the same price for you. And what it just means is TikTok didn't take, $8 out of every 10. I got to keep more of it. So I would keep $7 or $8 out of every 10 rather than the other way around. So, and at no cost to you guys. So effectively what I did is I just ported people across from then, and they weren't at any loss, and they were, more part of a community instead of being part of the machine that is TikTok and could be taken away at any time. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So that's how Activation Station, how Patreon works. How does anybody have questions about Patreon or any of that? Anything that I've said so far? Let me know. Everything is pretty clear. Yeah. While you're thinking of your questions, I'm just going to duck to the toilet really quick, and then I'm going to answer them all, because and if I've left anything out, or if you'd like to know any other processes, then please let me know, because I'm an open book for you. Okay. All shall prosper. Give me one sec. Just so you know, when it gets time for you to set up your own Patreons and things like that, I will happily help you do it. What if you were live more on Patreon? Do you think you would gain more profitable followers for yourself and not have to worry about the banana? If I'm live on Patreon more, that's good, but people need to know about Patreon, which is why I go live on TikTok. That, and because I need to do those $22 healings to make it affordable for people to go and to receive healing. I don't want people to have to scrimp and break the bank. I would happily go live on Activation Station more, but there needs to be there's a fine line. You know, I need to get those people to still come in. I'm not sure what you mean, Deb. Yeah, of course you can. If you all got questions, I can answer it. Yeah, TikTok is a tool to reach the collective. There's far more people. And I use that platform to try and bring people over to Activation Station, because what I don't want to do is, this is really important to me. What I don't want to do is go live on Patreon and say, okay, Activation Station subscribers, if you want individual healings, then it's going to cost you $22. Well, it shouldn't, because you're already paying to be there, and I'm not about that. You know, you guys are here for a reason, and I absolutely appreciate you more than you know. So I don't want to do that. But at the same time, once Activation Station is at a point where it is, you know, self-sufficient, then absolutely, I would just go live on Activation Station and not on TikTok. But until that time, I still need to go live on TikTok to build up that following. So I hope that answered your question. So Graham says, should anyone set a TikTok account just for healing, energy work, spiritual, rather than just a personal? Does that say AI? Personal account with all kinds of followers. Yeah, look, ideally, okay, let's talk about TikTok for a little bit. When I set up TikTok, you need a certain amount of followers to go live. At the time, I was going live just on Facebook and Instagram, which was fine, but I really wanted to break into TikTok because it shoots you out all over the world, or at least in theory it did. But I didn't have those followers. So what I did is I went to, if you search for Follow Train, then you follow people and you like all those things and they follow you and you follow them back. You can make it up to whatever you need. I think it was 1,000 followers or something. And it took me, I think, a weekend, more maybe a week to do that. But what's really important is just do that until the point where you can go live and then stop, because they're the wrong type of followers to have. It's only just there to serve a purpose for you to go live and then stop. And then every other follower that you get from that point needs to be organic, needs to be people who want to want to see your content. Yeah. With TikTok Live, that promotion button you need to set to on. What happens if you forgot to click that and you promote your website or whatever? So what happens is they don't push your stuff out. Because AI is so strong now, they can see that you're promoting yourself and they won't push it out. So you'll only be able to reach your followers, which is another reason why you need organic followers. Yeah. I don't mean to forget about TikTok though. Yeah, I understand, Deb, but there's just a line in the sand at this point. Yeah, yeah. Once it's self-sufficient, then yeah, it would be more time. Any other questions that you guys can think of now? If you get off here and you have more questions about it, then all you have to do is just either reach out to me directly and I'm happy to answer it, or what I would prefer is if you put the question in the chat section of it, not this chat section. I'm talking under the post, because chances are, if you're asking the question, then other people would have asked it as well, would have wanted to ask it. So, yeah, if you can do that, that'd be great. But right now, do you have any other questions? Anything you can think of? So let's just do a step by step. Let's say that you just you're new to everything. You would firstly get your TikTok account, base it around your healings or your psychic work or whatever you do, whatever you're passionate about. Yeah. You would start thinking of ways to create content. You can use AI for that point of view to get topics, and then you can create content based on that. In that content, you'll start getting people commenting, and then you can use that comment to answer their questions to create another video, and so on and so forth. You are so welcome. You're so welcome. I would then do follow train. If that's not successful off the bat and getting followers, I would do that follow train until you get to that point, and not any more than that point where you can go live. And then I would whilst that's happening, I would set up the link tree, because once you get to a certain amount of followers, that's when you can actually put a link in your profile. So it's not, you can't immediately put a link in your profile straight off the bat with TikTok, or at least you couldn't back then. So yeah, if you can set up your PayPal, or however you do it, Venmo or whatever it is, or both, put that in your link tree. And then follow the steps for going live in relation to the About Me section and the Canva artwork, and then you can set it up that way. Now, after that, everything will be superfluous, I guess. So it would be the StreamYard if you needed it, which there's a free version of it. It's only 720p, but it's not a big deal. YouTube, if you're gonna go live on YouTube and you don't have StreamYard, you need to have 100 followers. So just like I did for Anita at that time before she could go live on YouTube. Just let me know when you're about to do that, and then I will put the post in Patreon, and we'll get everyone there to follow you. So that'll should get you at least close to your 100 followers, and then you can integrate that with your activation station. So process basically set up PayPal, yep, and set up a Linktree. Promote in TikTok as much as you can until you get a high number of followers, then push Patreon. Yeah, so the way that it worked for me was I put subscription first on my TikTok. You're not going to get a lot of money from it, but you're going to get a lot of subscribers who pay money, and then it's an easy proposition to say just move over to my Patreon. It doesn't need to be Patreon. There's millions of other things just like that, but just move over to my Patreon and make sure you cancel it here so it doesn't cost them any more money, and then they'll just do it because they love you, and you start to build your community that way. But there's a million ways to do it, Graham, but I'm telling you, this is the way that I did it. Hopefully I haven't missed anything out. But by all means, let me know if there's other things that you think, even outside of what I've told you, if there's other things that you're wondering about setting up. Because everyone in here knows how to do either healings or psychic work. So you should be able to, from this video, have the confidence, because you know that it's easier now than what you think, to go live. Go live straight off your phone. You don't actually need the mic to go live at the start. I did not have a mic when I started. I also didn't have a lighting kit when I started. I used natural light from the windows. Yeah, good. Okay. So I've been chatting for an hour and a half. So I think that'll probably wrap it up. So Karen, get some sleep. Like I said, it's possibly the last day to book one-on-one sessions with me for half price. So you don't need to have it today, but you can book it for the future. If you wanted a half price one-on-ones, it will probably be today to do it. If that link doesn't work, then message me. You're very, very welcome, Star. You're very welcome. Thank you guys for being here and sussing it out. I hope it's a bit clearer for you. Gives you a bit more guidance. And like I said, I'll still be right with you every step of the way. So ask the questions. Message me privately if you want. Just ask the questions, and I'll absolutely help you out. I have now set up a few Patreons for people. So you are very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay, if it works for you, then it will work for others. Yeah, I think so. Bear in mind, remember I've got Spirit Stream TV, which is a podcast. If anyone wanted to do podcast as well, that is all through StreamYard as well. Exactly the same. That's something that I failed to mention as well. So it's all through StreamYard. It just has a different layout, which I created through Canva, but it's a video podcast. You download it at the end, you upload it to Spotify, and it's done. It's really easy, really easy. You can even download on StreamYard. You can even after you record it, you can even just download the audio if you wanted to. and have an actual podcast without video. So a few different arms, a few different different things, but I'm glad that you all got some sort of direction out of it. Anyway, I'll leave you all to it. Thank you for being with me. I may, depending on the time, I may go over to TikTok and see if I can do some paid work. It is my birthday coming up on Monday, and Charlotte's on Thursday, so I might need some money for that. But yeah, I'm going to leave you guys to it. I have so much love for you. Thank you for being here, and we'll talk again soon, okay? Have a beautiful day.